Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, students, all teachers and students and distinguished guests. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and the participants from many countries, from Thailand, from Myanmar. Okay, our friend from China as well, and other countries. Okay, and our speaker, okay, from Mahasarakam University from Cameroon, Dr. Eric. Now he is here with us already. Yes, and yes, very warm welcome to the webinar PhD ELT program Roadshow and Open House and BRU ELT journal launch. Okay, so you will see that there are several topics, titles here that we will show today. May I introduce myself first? Okay, my name is Siddhisak Kongpuihi, the PhD in ELT batch 1 student. And this webinar is organized by ELT, PhD in the ELT program, okay, under Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, Rajabhat University. And very warm welcome, speakers, students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, again. Yes. Okay, good afternoon. Yes. And for today, there are some titles. There are some activities that we provide for the participants. Okay, for the first session, will be the after the open remarks by the Vice President. So it will be the first session, the special and friendly talk on the PhD journal tips and technique to finish a PhD in ELT on time. Okay, by Dr. Eric Mbele. Yes, and the second session, okay, will be the roundtable. Okay, the introduction. Sorry, the introduction to PhD in ELT program by our program chair, okay, Associate Professor Dr. Akrapon Nirmaihom, and now he is here with us. Okay, and the third program will be the roundtable discussion on why are you doing a PhD ELT at BRU by some representative of our PhD ELT program, and our moderator, okay, Ajahn Piyachat will be the moderator. And for part 2, yeah, is another highlight for the webinar today. It is the special talk on how to get a journal index in national and international databases. So it's very practical for PhD students who are going to publish their articles, their papers, okay, by the speaker, Assistant Professor Thanit, okay, Tangkit Sanakul, okay, he will give a special talk for us. And the last one will be the small talk on BRU ELT journal launch. Okay, this is the very new topic for today by our program chair and dean, associate professor Dr. Akrapon Nirmaihom again. Okay, and yes, now our key persons, our dean and our vice president are here with us. So let me lead everyone to the open remarks ceremony first. Okay, and on this occasion, okay, may I invite Associate Professor Dr. Akrapon Nirmaihom, okay, PhD ELT Program Chair and Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, Rajabhat University, Thailand, to deliver a reported speech. And may I call upon Assistant Professor Dr. Navamin Prachanan, the Vice President of Rajabhat University, to deliver an opening remarks for PhD ELT Roadshow, Open House, and BRU ELT Journal launch, please.
Respected Mr. Chairman, Vice President of Buriram Rajabhat University, Assistant Professor Dr. Navamin Prachanan, our invited speakers, Dr. Eric from Mahasarakam University, the Curriculum Committee, Assistant Professor Dr. Suruchai Piyanukun, etc., my PhD students, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Ph.D. in ELT programs, first of all, I would like to express my sincere thanks very so much for having Assistant Professor Dr. Naramin Prachanan, Vice President, as our chairperson today. Please allow me to give some information about this webinar. This webinar hosted by the PhD program in the ELT with the following purposes. The first one is to introduce the PhD program to the PhD candidate who are interested in doing a PhD at Buriram Rajabhat University. Second, to let the PhD student get inside knowledge from the invited speaker how to complete their PhD within a time frame. And third, to let everyone know or acknowledge about the developments of BRU ELT journal that will be developed by the PhD program in ELT. This is the main purpose of having the webinar today. On behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express once again our sincere thanks to Vice President, Associate Professor, Assistant Professor Dr. Naramin Prachanan, who kindly coming to preside over this webinar. At this auspicious moment, I would like to call upon our chairperson to officially open the webinar and deliver an opening speech. Thank you so much. Please.
The Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Science, as well as the Chair of PhD in ELT program, the guest, the invited speaker, Dr. Eric, Umberle, the curriculum committee of ELT PhD program, and our beloved students, as well as the interest person or the prospective PhD students at BRU. On behalf of Buriram Rajabhat University, it's my great honor to be invited to preside over the webinar entitled PhD ELT Program Roadshow and Open House, as well as BRU ELT Journal Debut. As you know that Buriram Rajabhat University, under the Faculty of Humanities and Social Science, open for English for master degree since 2008, or about 15 years now, since it's according to our vision and our philosophy as a Buriram Rajabhat University is the Institute for Local Development. And one of our mission is to give the services and produce the teacher in the high levels. Just why we open for master degree in English, and then just we are aware of it and we analyze that all of our students, nearly 100%, are English teachers in primary, secondary, college and university levels. And then just why we change into English language teaching program, especially for the advanced one. Just 2 years ago, we offer PhD in ELT program under the Faculty of Humanities and Social Science. Just reported by the Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Social Science that there are two purposes of the webinar today. So I just would like to thank the invited speaker, Okay, again, Dr. Eric, okay, Ambele, okay, from Mahasarakham University, and then the other one, okay, Assistant Professor Chanit Tangchit Charoenkun from KMUTT, for your kind support, okay, your great contribution today, okay, is very appreciated. Last but not least, okay, I would like to thank, okay, Associate Professor Dr. Akrapol Nermaihom, the chair of the program, and our committee, curriculum committee, as well as our beloved students, okay, for organizing this webinar. And I do hope that, okay, this webinar will be fruitful, okay, for, okay, all of the participants, as well as to achieve the goal set out. Okay, at this auspicious moment, okay, I would like to declare the webinar, okay, entitled PhD ELT Program Roadshow and Open House, okay, officially open. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your remarks, Mr. Vice President and the Dean. And the next session, okay, is our photo session. So may I invite everyone to take photo together before we start the activity, please. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Yes, thank you very much, everyone. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so it is a very good time to begin the first session of our webinar, special and friendly talk on the PhD journey, tips and technique to finish a PhD ELT on time. And it's a great honor for us to invite Dr. Eric Mbele from Mahasarakham University, Thailand, to be an invited speaker for this title. But before we begin, may I introduce our speaker first. Dr. Eric Mbere is a lecturer and a researcher at the Department of Western Languages and Linguistics, Mahasarakham University, Thailand. He holds a PhD in Applied Linguistics and is author and co-author of numerous articles and book chapters. His research interests focus on global Englishes and English as a lingua franca, sociolinguistics, English medium instruction, teacher, education, belief, attitude, and identity, discourse analysis, intercultural communication, and innovative research methodology. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Dr. Eric Mbele, please. Yes, Professor.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Is it audible enough? Can you all hear me, please? Can you hear me?
Yes, Professor, really clear.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so once again, good afternoon, everybody. And for those of us in Thailand, and good day to you, wherever you are in China or other parts of the world. It's indeed a great privilege to be invited once again by my dearest friend at Buriram Rajabhat University. First of all, I would like to thank the chair and dean of the PhD ELT program, Associate Professor Dr. Akrapol, for the kind invitation. Thank you very much. It's always very much appreciated. And also to my other dear friend there, the Vice President of Buriram Rajabhat University, Assistant Professor Dr. Nawani. Thank you very much. And to our dearest PhD students, once again, it's always great to see you all. And I understand I've got a couple of minutes to share with you a little bit about how to go through your PhD journey. And so I've put together a few slides here, not too many, just to keep things brief and fast. All right, so it's a friendly discussion, so I'll try to make it as brief as I can, but most of what I'm going to be sharing with you today, it's just tapes drawn from experiences doing a PhD and as well as teaching a PhD class, as well as supervising PhD students. So I hope that you'll be able to benefit from this and use it the best way you can to go through your PhD study. I'd like to begin by saying congratulations, first of all. It sounded a little bit odd to begin with a congratulatory message, you know, but I want to begin with this, just to say that it takes courage to actually pursue a PhD program, especially in a place like BRU. I mean, it takes a whole lot of tenacity to do so. And it's on that point of courage that I'll first of all like to say congratulations to you. I also like to say congratulations to you before I get to talk about the tips, because given the curriculum structure and also the very competent professors that work at Buriram Rajabhat University, I am very certain that just by enrolling into that program, the PhD program there, it's already an over 50% guarantee that you're going to have your doctorate degree. And think about all the things that comes with having your PhD. So it is for these reasons that I do want to begin by saying congratulations to all the students in batch 1, batch 2, and batch 3, because success is right ahead. All right, so think about this very simple question: is finishing a PhD hard? You know, it's one thing to enroll into a PhD program like this, it's another thing to go through, and it's another thing to finish. You know, I've had situations where you would have 10 students enroll into a PhD program, and into mid-semester or maybe after a year, you find that there are just 2 of them. And by the time you get to the end of the program, it's just 1 person or nobody at all. So different people will have been able to describe this kind of situation as very difficult, very hard. And they do so from different perspectives. And what I really want to say is, yes, PhD study, it's hard, and also it is not. And this is because finishing your PhD, again, can be quite intimidating. I call it, it's a daunting process, as you know, they would say, because it can be quite overwhelming. I mean, think about a terminal degree as a PhD. You know, it gets even more challenging, it gets even more demanding, it gets even more time consuming, it gets even more strenuous on your part, because you need to be able to put together too many different things to be able to go through your study. And so when you think about the whole process, when you think about all what you have to go through to complete your PhD, that in itself, it's intimidating. But again, it is possible, it is doable, and it is achievable. Think about that. And so when you think about completing your PhD and also your dissertation anxiety, now this is very important, because at BRU, I understand you need to go through coursework, and after that you need to do your dissertation. It happens differently in other contexts, where you might just do your coursework and get something out of it, a publication, or in most cases, you will have to do your dissertation plus a publication. And so when you think about going through your coursework, that's another level of anxiety in itself. When you think about the big deal, which is doing your research, and that's another thing to think about. Now, when you think about getting published, which is one of the topics for discussion today, in reputable journals, that again, it's something else, you know, to worry about, because there you move from what you can control, which is your coursework, your research, into what you cannot control, which is getting published, because they depends on the journal you're submitting to and the editors as well. And so it's always great to know that I think one of the reasons why the PhD ELT program at BRU is coming up and launching this journal is to be able to cater for problems like this, where we cannot really control things, and it's certainly going to make life easier for all of us, not just for the students at BRU, but for all of us as well. So think about all of these things, and just by thinking about it, get you really scared. You know, get really scared, because when you talk to some people, they will tell you like, oh, it's so difficult. You can't really complete it. You can't really get to do it. It's really hard. You've got too many assignments to do. Because mostly people who get to do PhD, sometimes you're working, sometimes you've got families, sometimes you've got this and that you're dealing with. So it's all about managing everything around you to make sure that you go through successfully with your PhD study. And so However difficult it may sound, however scary it may seem, however daunting the process might be, think about that. It is always very important to prepare yourself, because when you prepare yourself, it is one of those ways that can help you to actually keep calm through the process. And so my talk to you today, it's just giving you some tips on how to finish on time. I'm certain that your chair, the chair of the Ph.D. ELT program, shared this with me, that we really don't appreciate you staying with us for too long, because we just want you to stay with us for the time you're supposed to and leave us alone, you know. So I think that's why we have the title of the talk like Finish on Time, because we're not worried that you're going to finish, but we're concerned that you should finish just on time. So don't stay for too long. Don't become permanent resident in our programs when you're there for 15 years and 20 years and you're not finishing. No, you need to just finish on time, and leave. And so that's why we set up, and that's why the program in itself set up all the things they do to help you and to enable you finish just on time. Think about my first point as the first tip as meeting all the PhD requirements set by your institution. Now, one of the things you need to be concerned and you need to think about as a PhD student is when you enroll into the program, you need to think about what are the requirements set by the institution. Because if you're not aware of this, then you might just go through the flow and not paying attention to some of the things that would determine you finishing the program on time. Think about courses, for example. How many courses do you have to do? How many do you have to do for a semester, for 2 semesters? And be sure that you actually enroll into all the classes and get all of them completed just in time, because it's not possible for you to graduate or finish the program without going through the courses if it's a mandatory requirement set by the institution. Also think about the credit. It depends on the plan, your plan of enrollment. If you're enrolled, for example, into coursework and research or only research, think about how many credits you need to take. And one of the things you want to do at a very early start is to think about how to divide those credits into semesters. I mean, you can set a goal in that probably you want to go through the program maybe in the next 3 years or maybe 3.5 or anything of that sort, but set something, say around 3 years, and see how you can break down your credit into those 3 years. How many credit am I going to take for each semester, and how much work do I need to do to be able to merit those credit? If you do a plan like that, then it's going to help you to actually finish on time. Because remember that it's one thing to register for a certain number of credit, and it's another thing to actually do work that is equal to those credits registered. So you need to think about how many credit do I want to sign up for in a semester, maybe 3 credit, and how much work do I need to do to get those 3 credit. This becomes a very crucial decision to make, especially after coursework. Now, it's easier to get through these things during coursework because each course set by the program already has a credit unit. So if you're doing 3 courses, for example, they already assign maybe 3 credit or 6. But when it gets to your research, you get credit as per your progress. So think about that. So the more progress you make, the more credit you get for each semester. So you really want to plan this carefully so that you can actually finish on time. Think about publications as well. And I think this one, it's just not an institutional decision, but as I understand, as I know, it's also a requirement set by the Ministry of Education in Thailand that you will need to get some kind of publications out of your PhD study to be able to complete your study. And the application of it varies. Some institutions you would need to publish in Scopus, index journals. Other institutions, they accept 2 or 3 TCIs. It depends. So you need to check out what does your institution need for you to do to be able to complete your PhD in terms of publication. And you can start planning in that regard. All right, you can start planning. Now, publications seem to be a very worrying aspect in your journey because, like I said earlier, this is an aspect of your journey that you don't have control over. Every decision made, when the decisions are made, it's actually influenced by people you don't even know. and you really can't do anything about it but wait. So you need to think about this carefully, and plan things out well with your supervisor when it comes to, what topic maybe to write on for your research article, what journal to publish in. You need to check all of these things and be sure that you're actually walking on a realistic publication path so that it can actually enable you to finish just on time. You don't get into a situation where you would finish with everything, your thesis defense and everything else, and you have to wait for the next 2 years just to get a response from the editor of a journal. So you want to think about this carefully. All right. The second tip is to keep a cheerful perspective. Like I said earlier, it's a very stressful process. It's stressful like every other great endeavors of life. PhD, doing a PhD, it's stressful. It can really weigh you out in most times, given that you have to battle with too many things. You have your coursework to deal with, you have to think about your research, you have to manage your time, you have to think about work, you have to think about family and all of that. And all of these things can really get you stressful and can really weigh you out. And sometimes it even leads to serious health problems. You need to think about this. We don't want you to just go through your PhD program and, not being able to benefit from all your hard labor. So you want to keep a cheerful perspective so that you can actually go through the program in strength, in freshness, and in good health. So stay positive, keep a calm mind, think about other things you can do to keep you relaxed and fresh and cheerful. If you like traveling, explore traveling during holidays, take vacations, go to the beach, wherever, go to the mountains, wherever you think keeps you cheerful. Think about anything else that can keep you really, really happy. You need this to be able to finish in time, because you need a fresh mind, you need an active spirit to be able to go through your work. So keeping a cheerful perspective to your study, to life, and even to your research, it's really going to help you a great deal. Now, something else you want to think about is you have to be realistic if you really want to finish. Now it's good to be ambitious, but you want to be realistically ambitious. When I talk about being ambitious, it's, you have one of those research topics where it seems like you want to do everything in English language teaching, and you end up not doing anything in English language teaching. That's really ambitious, but you might just be in the program for a little longer, like 15 years or so. So think about setting realistic goals in terms of, for example, the research you want to do. Is it feasible? Because sometimes, and that's why you need to maintain a very close relationship with your program and with your supervisors as well, because it helps you to make visible decisions in terms of what research you need to do. Now, some research, some topics are quite interesting, but not all interesting topics are doable. You need to think about, is it feasible in terms of data collection? Is it feasible in terms of data analysis? Is it feasible in terms of dealing with all that which I have to deal with to complete the research process? You also need to think about practicality as well. And one of those areas where you need to make a practical decision is in terms of publication, which I mentioned earlier. It's an area where you can't really control. So if you really want to finish on time, think about planning things in a way that you have so much time ahead to be able to write your research article, get it published in a journal, wouldn't take like a year or two just to give you a reply or a feedback. So you want to do all of these checks in advance. These are practical decisions you have to make, and it's very crucial if you really want to finish on time. Think about budgeting as well. You would have to pay for your tuition. If you're collecting data in an off-site campus, you would have to think about transportation and things of that nature. If you're dealing with participants where you have to give them tips, you would have to think about, how much do I have to give my participants? If you have to treat them a meal, you need to think about all of these things. You need to think about buying books. If you need to buy a program for your analysis, if you need to travel for a conference presentation, think about budgeting, think about sources of funding. Are you funded enough? how are you planning your budget? Because sometimes you get stuck and you can't really go forward because you don't have the budget to do so. But if you start thinking about these things early enough and planning your budget in this line, then it's one good way to help you to finish on time because things just go smoothly. Also think about publishing as well, which I talked about, when to start. You don't have to wait until you get a very huge and groundbreaking findings to have it published. You can make contribution in bits and pieces. If you come up with a little discovery just from your literature review, you can publish that out, and that gets you out of the way already and gets you closer to finishing your PhD. So think about all of these things in close collaboration with your supervisor. And maybe I'm going to end with this. Think about prioritizing your academic networks and communities. You need support. All right. One of the things you should avoid not to do is to work alone on this journey. I'm quite happy with the kind of vibrant PhD community you guys have at BRU there. It's really an amazing community because each time I visit you guys and I see how collaborative you guys get, I see how engaging you guys get and how supportive you guys get. I mean, it's just so amazing. And with this kind of an environment, it serves as a booster to you as a person when you're actually going through stress dealing with your work, because one of the people you want to actually share some of these worries with and concerns with will be your PhD network. So take advantage of your academic networks, take advantage of your PhD communities. When you get together, talk about your research, talk about the challenges you're going through, share your experiences with your peers, share your experiences with your colleague, tell them your strategies of survival, your strategies of dealing with data collection, of dealing with literature review, you're dealing with databases and all of that. And in this way, you will be doing a whole lot of justice to yourself in terms of ensuring that you actually finish just on time. Now, I put together just these 4 points, and I think from these 4 points, I've been able to highlight and touch on some very pertinent issues that are related, to your PhD journey, because as you would understand, some of them are really very key topics to be talked about, which are going to be covered in different sessions during this webinar and in other webinars which you guys are going to have. So think about knowing your requirement, keep a cheerful perspective, set realistic goals, and take advantage of your academic networks and communities. And I really want to assure you that from my experiences so far, if you can actually take this into consideration, then you are already a step forward and a well-planned agenda for you finishing your PhD. So think about what I said at the beginning. It was a congratulations at the very beginning, and here, remember, success is ahead. So thank you very much for listening.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Eric Mbele, for your very insightful talks on tip to finish PhD ELT on time. So as he summarized that there are four main details: meet all requirements set by your institution, keep a cheerful perspective, be realistic, and prioritize academic networks and communities. That's very useful tips. Really, Professor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes. Are there any questions from the audiences?
I have one question, Ajahn
Yes.
Siddharth.
Yep.
Okay, good afternoon, Dr. Eric Mbele.
Good afternoon.
Okay. Yes, it's very good to listen to your talk, and it helps me a lot to complete my study. Okay, I do have only one question about your journey during your PhD.
Yes.
Okay, when you failed or when you get discouraged, how would you cheer yourself up, and how would you recover from your discouragement? Okay, what is your tip?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. And in answering that question, something I want to interject here is that expect to fail. I mean, it's one of those realities you have to really accept and deal with doing a PhD. I mean, failures comes in different ways and it comes at different levels. Expect to fail where you submit something to your supervisor and they call it rubbish. Expect to fail when your supervisor asks you to do 10, 15, 20 draft. Expect to fail when you submit your article to a journal and you're working against time and it gets rejected 5 times, 10 times. expect all of these things. It's only part of the process to help you strong and to, you know, help you go through the process. Now, something you want to do is, and this is the level where a lot of students give up. This is the level where a lot of people just discontinue their PhD journey and they think it's not doable, it's not possible. Now, what you have to realize is that you need to, first of all, accept that failure is part of life. And that something, you tried something and it didn't work, doesn't mean it's never going to work. You just need to keep trying again. That's what it means to keep a cheerful perspective. And so what you can do is, number one, the first thing you want to do is you want to be able to find comfort and solace amongst your academic networks, your friends. Your friends are your best immediate people to cheer you up, your family members. Think about what you can do to get you relaxed. You can put that away for a moment, take a trip, travel somewhere, get a calm mind, do something fun and relaxing, pretend you're not a PhD student or doing a PhD, pretend you did not fail. Then later on, you can then come back to the work and get to do it again. So what I would suggest for you, number one, is take advantage of your network. When you fail, talk to them, and your friends will certainly encourage you, including your family members as well. Then you can take a trip just to get relaxed and cool up, freshen up, get a relaxed mind, then you can come back to your work again. But always remember that it's just part of the process. So you can't stop because you failed.
Okay, thank you very much for your tip.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ajahn Yuthicak, for your question and participating. And thank you again. Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Eric Mbele, okay, for your insightful talk. And Professor, hope to see you again in BRU for the coming academic event. Yes.
I'll be most happy to. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and the second session today, okay, will be the introduction to PhD ELT program by Associate Professor Dr. Akrapon Neurmaihom, PhD ELT program chair and Dean, Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences, Buriram Rajabhat University. Okay, he can present the information about the PhD ELT program the best because he is the founder of this program as well. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me to welcome Associate Professor Dr. Akrapon Neurmaihom. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Very good afternoon, my students, ladies and gentlemen. Ming Karaba, Ni Hao Ma, to my Chinese friend and to my Chinese friend, Ni Hao Ma. To my Myanmar students, Ming Karaba, but I don't know how to say, to greet my colleague from Cameroon, Ajahn Smith, how to speak in your language, how to greet. Ajahn Smith, how to greet in your language.
We say Apazi in Cameroon.
Okay, okay. I will learn from you in other days. All right, thank you. So let me share with you my screen. I won't spend much time. I think not more than 10 minutes. Let me share with you my PowerPoint. Mr. MC, can you see my PowerPoint now?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you. This is our university, Buriram Rajabhat University. Very beautiful, I would say, because it is my university. All right. Our program, that is Doctor of Philosophy program in English Language Teaching, or ELT, is provided under our university, that is Buriram Rajabhat University. And it is under the Faculty of Humanities and Social Sciences as well. This is our university campus. I highly hope to see you in person very soon. My students from China, from Myanmar, and from other countries who are going to be the would-be PhD candidate for the third batch. We have the big football field. We have the tallest building. We have the cultural centers and other meeting rooms. You are welcome. And see by your own eyesight, right? This is the curriculum committee. It is normally it is required by the Ministry of Higher Education. There are at least 5 curriculum committee members. Yes, and all members should be qualified, holding the PhD degree and other academic position, etc. So this program shared by me, Dr. Ek, and the other 4 curriculum committee, including Assistant Professor Dr. Namamin, Assistant Professor Dr. Shukiat, Assistant Professor Dr. Surachai, and the curriculum secretary is Assistant Professor Dr. Kapirapap Internal. Not just the qualified curriculum committee, we also have overqualified, we would say, invited speakers from different universities from both Thailand and overseas. For instance, Professor Dr. Paul Mosada from Arizona State University, Professor Willie from Singapore, Professor Prakasit from Thammasat University, Professor Ngelon from Australia, Professor Anchali from Suratnagari Technology University, etc. We have many invited speakers coming to deliver very trendy topics relevant to ELT each term. I think at least more than 10 each term. All right, this is some details of this program. There are 2 main tracks. The first one, track 1.1. For the second batch student, we got 2 students who are taking Ph.D. in track 1.1. And most of the students, they are taking the second track, that is 2.1. What are the differences between these 2 tracks? I will give you some more details. All right. This is the applicant's qualification. It is required by the Ministry of Higher Education. All right. You should have at least 3.25 to apply for this position, for this program. All right. And this is also the basic requirements for those who are coming to study with us at BRU. All right, you have to submit your English capability resource given by this English test organization. All right, you can take a look here, some detail on the screen. If you're interested, I can send to you this PowerPoint. All right. And what else? You are going to submit your what we call the proposal. Okay, the proposal, research proposals, as to candidate did last time. I think last month, 2 candidates for the third batch. They already submit these documents, and they just got the interview last few days. We highly hope to have 2 of them. Just wait and see. The result will be announced very soon. All right. And also you have to take the written test and interview in English. So this is track 1.1. As I told you earlier, if you would like to take this track, it is some high requirements. As I told you, only 2 students of the second batch that took this track 1.1. The requirement is you should have at least 2 English articles published in the Scopus Index journals or equivalent within the past 5 years. So the 2 students of the second batch, they got their papers published in the Scopus Index journals as required by this condition. And then they took the 1.1 track. For the third batch who are coming to study with us, if you have qualification like this, you got some of your papers published in Scopus, you can take this track. All right. What about the second track? Oh, okay. Yeah, some of you might want to know the tuition fees. This is the detail. If you are Thai, you have to pay this amount in installment. All right. It's the fee is paid in 6 installments. If you are foreign students, that is amounts. Right now we are discussing among the committee, curriculum committee. We are planning to provide you some scholarship. So just wait and see. Now we are discuss this issue very seriously. in order to release some burdens faced by you, both Thai and foreign students. Please wait and see. I think it will be effective very soon. All right. And this is the course content you are going to study. This is the main course for subject, and this is the selective courses. You have to study 3 credits, 1 subject at least, maybe 2, yes, but at least 1 subject. All right. Track 1.1, you need not to take any coursework. You just start conducting your research with 48 credits. But for the second batch, even if they taking 1.1 track, but the curriculum committee would like them to get some insightful knowledge about research methodology. So they asked to take the courses relevant to research, but not other courses. All right. For track 2.1, the student have to take at least 36 credits. That's different from the track 1.1. Okay. This is they are our invited speaker from both Thailand and overseas. You can see here Professor Paul Masada from America, Nguyen Lon from Australia, Professor Subakon from Thammasat University. This is from Turkey. This is from King Mongkut. This is from Chulalongkorn. This is from Saudi Arabia, etc. More than this, I think there are about 10 invited speakers for each semester. So you will get a lot of knowledge and insightful experiences given by all these invited speakers, professors. All right. And I would say that our program is very capable, even if it is a small program, but we help each other to hold a big conference, the first conference last year, and it was very successful. That's a conference called ICON ELT. That means International Conference on ELT. We did it for the first time last year, and we invite a lot of guest speakers from different countries: America, Myanmar, Vietnam, Thailand, and other universities. And more importantly, the papers submitted and presented at our first ICON ELT can be considered to get published in Scopus Index Journal Q3. 6 papers from this conference. All right, consider to get published in this journal, that is Theory and Practice in Language Studies, that will be published this month. Next month in February. And we are planning to have the second ICON ELT as well. So it will be 13 May 2023 under the theme Breakthrough in ELT in the Post-Pandemic. Very interesting. Please wait and see. I think we will learn a lot of things, things relevant to ELT from this conference. And I highly hope that some of your papers will be forwarded to the Scopus Index Journal. And if you are lucky enough, and if your paper is good enough, and then it will be published in Scopus Index Journal. All right. And the venue now, we just have my is Buriram Rajabhat University, but we might move to other places, other countries. So just depends on some situation like COVID-19 and other conditions. But now we have in our mind the venue is Buriram Rajabhat University. So you can see here, this is our students' great performance, great academic performance. Some of students students from batch one, some of them got their paper published in Scopus Index Journal already, like Imon, like Somyong, like Sirapapa, in this very well-known journal, that is World Journal of English Language and Special Education, and other journal as well. And more than that, all of them, including Ajan Yudajak, Ajan Jan Suda, Ajan Siddhisak, Ajan Vipaporn, All right, all of them, 9 of them already got their paper published in proceedings. Then they already presented their papers at international conference. And that is very excellent. Thank you very so much for your great effort and your contribution to our PhD program. All right. And now I think it's good time to welcome the new students of the first batch. Now you have plenty of time to apply, to submit your application. The deadline of application is 8 April 2023. So we highly hope to have you with us as a member of PhD ELT program. And I think next term onwards, we are going to have the on-site class at Buriram Rajabhat University. That will be very good for us to talk to each other in person. All right, thank you very so much for your interest, and highly hope to see you in class at BRU campus very soon. Thank you so much. ขอบคุณและสวัสดีครับ
Thank you very much. Thank you, the Dean. Thank you very much for your very insightful talks on introduction to PhD ELT program. Okay, as I told you that he is the best person to give the information about the program because he's the founder of this PhD ELT program. Okay, thank you very much, Professor. Are there any questions about the presentation from the audiences? Okay, I think the presentation is really clear, Professor.
Yes, I will send this PowerPoint to you again, and then you can forward this PowerPoint to your colleagues who might be interested in this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, as you see, the chair, okay, present the curriculum committee, the invited speakers, the tracks, the applicant qualification, the courses in the program, and also our ELT program provide the international conference that can have published in the Scopus Index as well. Okay, thank you very much. And okay, the next session will be the roundtable discussion on why are you doing a PhD ELT at BRU? And in this session, we invited the representative from PhD ELT at BRU to talk on this topic. Okay, the first one, Miss Yi Moncho, batch 1 student from Myanmar. Okay. Second, Mr. Yutajak Ramchuanjit, batch 1 student from Thailand. Okay. The third one, Miss Yili Wang, batch 2 student from China. And the fourth one, okay, Mr. Sumit Kasi, TK Asa, batch 3 student from Cameroon. Okay. And the moderator for this session, okay, may I invite Ajahn Piyachat Thephasadin Na Ayutthaya, okay, batch 2 student, Thailand. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome all students and the moderator, please.
Thank you very much, Ajahn Sarisa. Thank you for a very nice introduction of all of us. So as a moderator of this part is a roundtable discussion, and it is a good opportunity for all of you to know more about the program. And then we have representatives from different batches and also a newcomer from who is going to study in batch 3 joining us. So 4 of them. Thank you so much for introducing all of them. So I'll take this opportunity to introduce all of them one more time, and then more information about all of them. And then later you will have a chance to listen to their experiences, their suggestion, their points of view on studying in this program. So first person is Yi Moncho, and she's from Myanmar, and she's in the batch 1 of the PhD program. Currently, she is a freelance and a volunteer teacher, and she was a former assistant lecturer at Hakoku University, and she has a Master of Arts in English in Pakaku University in Myanmar. And the second person is Mr. Yutajak Ramchuanjit, and right now he is studying in batch 1, and he's from Rajabhat University. He's a former chairman of the curriculum committee and a lecturer of business English program. And he graduated from Konkan University. The third person is Yili Wang. She is studying in batch 2 at the moment. She's from Suihua, Heilongjiang province in China. and she got her Master of Arts from Dalian University from China. And the last but not least is Mr. Smith Gassi Teke Azan. Forgive me if I pronounce your name correctly. And he's from Cameroon, currently working at Buriram Rajabhat University. And he just decided to join batch 3 in the PhD program. He got his master in English language from the University of Yaoundé 1. So ladies and gentlemen, I think it's time for us to listen to all of them. And I know that you wanted to know about the program, what it's like, and how did all of them decided to join the program. So may I start with the first question. How did you know or find out about the program, and why did you choose to study PhD in English language teaching at Buriram Rajabhat University? So let me start with the first speaker, Ms. Imon Cho. Can you let us know your answer, please?
สวัสดีค่ะที่จันทร์ยิมอนค่ะ and มาจากเมียนมาค่ะยินดีที่ได้รู้จักค่ะ Firstly, let me introduce myself, and I am Jimon. Currently, I'm from Myanmar, and I'm also waiting for study on site in BIU. Now, the question I like to answer is, how did you find out about the program? Actually, I'm very curious and inquisitive about the PhD programs. As soon as I started my teaching career in 2015, and I work at my university as a tutor and in 2015, and I start looking for around PhD programs. One day I search in the Google and I start to type the best program in ELT for PhD. So unexpectedly, I found the BIU program, and I started my interest in about this program, and I started looking for around the coursework and what are the lecturer and who are the lecturer and what is about the coursework and how about the university like that. So I look around searching for the new information and the detail about the program. So my first question is, I found out about this program via social media, especially from website, because I normally use the websites and YouTube website or Facebook or some other. So I'm very lucky because I found it expectedly. And I also get the recommendation from my professor in Myanmar, because they highly recommend if you want to pursue your PhD degree, so you should do your degree in Buriram Rajabhat University. So this is my answer for the first question. Social media and the highly recommendation from my teachers. And second question is, why did you choose to study PhD in English language teaching at Buriram Rajabhat University? Actually, you know, a PhD degree is globally recognized by a postgraduate academic progress awarded by the university and higher education institution. And first reason is for my future career. For me, my passion is on English language teaching, and I always keep in touch with my teaching pedagogy and new methods on new trends and research area as well. So for my first reason is that my future career, and I would like to be a professional English language teacher. So I want to upgrade my knowledge and my teaching pedagogy and methods and English language. And I want to be like my professor, and because I'm very impressive my lecturers in Buriram Rajabhat University. So this is the first reason when I have made a decision to study a PhD degree. And my second reason is to enrich my research competency, because as I'm interested in research area, and I would like to conduct a new trend in ELT because my topic go to global citizenship education. And I think that is very the most suitable for me. This program is the most suitable for me because of my research interest area. So the third reason is I'm very cherished about the time, culture, and relation and language, because actually I'm a foreign language lover, and I started learning foreign languages as in my university life. And I also went to interested, and I want to inquire about time, culture, and how they teach to the student, because it's very famous in Myanmar. The Thai university are very trained and very good in teaching English. So, and I would like to be improve my career as well, and also want to improve my students to be the best teacher. So actually, there's a lot of reasons, but I like to highlight these some points. Thank you very much. Kabonka.
Thank you so much. Let's now move on to the second person, another student in the first batch. Mr. Yutajak, please, could you share with us how do you find out about the program? Please, thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, Sawadee krap. Okay, can you hear me? Okay, right. Okay, the same question, how did I find out about the program and how did I choose the program? Okay, for the first question, my answer would be quite private. Okay, the second one would be academic. Okay, for the first question, how did I find out about the program? Okay, last year, okay, one day when I made my decision to further my PhD student, okay, and then on that day I got a direct message from one of the program member, Assistant Professor Dr. Navamin Prachanan, okay, telling me about the program, and I got surprised how Buriram Rajabhat University, okay, opened this program for the first time, and that's interested me a lot because it was my good time to begin my PhD. And during that time, I was studying some information from the PhD programs in Thailand, especially in the north of Thailand. But in that time, only Buriram Rajabhat University, okay, got the application. So it was my good time just to make decision. So at that time, it was quite by chance. Okay, I knew the program by chance. But after that, I had to consider why I had to enter this program. Okay, as you know, I'm a full-time lecturer of my university, and I have two ways to choose. Okay, one way I have to take some leave, okay, to be a full-time student. The second way is to, to work and study together. So the program should serve me to study on weekends, Saturday and Sunday. I do not want to leave from my university. I would like to take my responsibility, teaching students. And at the same time, I have to take time to study. So this program, okay, is good for me because they are open for the weekend class. Okay, this is one reason. The second reason is that the way to study, last year or last 2 years, we were in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. So one way is that the program should be able to teach us online, yes, and to make us complete the coursework or any activities online. And this program could do that. Okay, so because of these two reasons, I think that this program is suitable for me. After that, I talk about the program with Dr. Navamin Prachanan, is asking him about the credits, the types. Okay, we have two types, as Dr. Akarapon said, and also we have the teams. Okay, we have the teams. Okay, and one thing is quite difficult to say how the program should support us to finish in the time frame, because I don't have, okay, we are the first batch. I don't have the Run P, the senior. Okay, I don't have the program doesn't have history. Okay, but why I dare, okay, I have challenge to go that, because when I talk to Dr. Akrapon, when I talk to the programs committee, I feel that they have, very strong commitment, okay, to push us forward into our goals. And then I learned from their history, their academic background. Okay, all of them have papers published in many countries, in many places, and they have long experience teaching students. That's why I'm certain that when I am a member of this program, I could go and finish in the time frame. That's why I made the decision to be the first batch without fear. Okay, until now, without fear, to finish and to achieve my goal. Okay, that's why I chose this program.
Okay, thank you so much, Arjun Yuthajak or Arjun James, right? So the next person, let me pass the floor to Yili. So can you share with us about how you find out about the program and also why you decided to join?
Yeah, I just want to say something to the candidate of Batch 3, especially the foreign students, because I'm Chinese and foreign students. And I think that maybe it is difficult for foreigners to decide to study overseas, because as we know that we must overcome some difficulties. And for example, just like me, first, I'm a teacher, and I also a wife and a mother, and also my parents' daughter. And so maybe I'll just overcome so many difficulties to study overseas. But I think that life should not be just maybe be easy, and we just maybe to study overseas, to study at BRU, and I think it is just an opportunity for me. Although I will just encounter so many difficulties, but once I decided to study the PhD, to get the PhD program, and I think no matter how many difficulties I will encounter, I will try my best to overcome them. And maybe it is, in fact, it is not easy for me. And also for the Batch 2 candidates, but I think that maybe it is opportunity, maybe the last opportunity for me to study. And from my own, from my personal experience, and I think that I just practice the lifelong study. And because I just graduate in 2003 to get my bachelor degree, and then after teaching 7 years, and I think that it's not enough for me to teach my students, and I should just improve myself to study more knowledge, and then I can just maybe to improve I can just improve not only myself, but also my teaching abilities. And so I just studied the master degree and finished the master degree in 2003. And now last year, and I think that maybe I should learn something more. And especially as we know that for the PhD program, and we can learn some advanced methodology, teaching methodologies, and to direct our future teaching, to improve maybe to improve my my students' English competence. And so I just make a decision to study the PhD. And why I made my final decision to study at BRU, and in China, there are about 10 universities that maybe there are only 10 universities that have the English ELT PhD program, and so it is not easy for me to study PhD program in China, and so I just want to study the PhD program overseas. And of course, I also have some other choice. And for example, some of my colleagues and my friends just studied the PhD program in South Korea and in Philippines. But I think that I just like the Thai climate and also like the Thai people, because I think that Thai people are so friendly, and so I just like the environment and the cultural environment in Thai. And so I just decided, I made my final decision to pursue my PhD in BRU. And the second thing I just want to say just about what I have learned from the first semester and the second semester. And I always think that I'm not a smart person. I'm not intelligent enough teacher, but I think that as an English teacher, it is good for us to study overseas, because as we know that English is an international language. And so we just maybe just exchange our ideas, our knowledge. And I think it is good for English teacher to have the overseas study experience. And from my study at BRU, and I think the excellent faculties and also the invited professors, professors just make some insightful and useful lectures for all the students. And the third question about maybe one, I just want to finish my PhD program, and of course I just wanted to try my best to finish the program in 3 years. And maybe it is not difficult, but I think I will try my best to read more, to study more, and to improve myself more. Yeah, okay, that's all.
我没有听明白你的意思。Okay, thank you so much, Li Wang. And now let's move on to the next person. I think it's the first person, perhaps, decided to join batch 3. So let's hear from Smith. Mr. Smith, please. So how did you know about the program, and why did you choose to study PhD at BRU?
Okay. Bonjour à tout le monde. Sawadee krab. Babazi. I'm so glad to be among all of you this afternoon in Thailand, and I considered a lot, and I hold to Mahatma Gandhi's saying that you should live life by learning as if you are going to live forever, or you should live life every day as if you are to die tomorrow. If you take these two aspects as a measure in which you have to measure your purpose of existence, then you will probably make a better choice of always wanting to further your education at every moment in time in your life. So now coming to the question, why have you made your final decision to do PhD at BRU, not somewhere else? It is not new to me. as a member already in the teaching field, and particularly working at the BRU, I've had the opportunity of attending their PhD webinars, and I see the kind of scholars that come as speakers of these webinars. They are scholars with a diverse mind. These scholars that are invited have different interests as far as research is concerned. And I think that having the opportunity to learn from these scholars will widen my mind as far as English language teaching is concerned and linguistic in general. So that is one of the basic reasons why I decided to join the PhD team at BRU. Then going further, the administrators and the committee bench that control the PhD curriculum are well qualified educators that can easily design curriculum that will be very good for us PhD candidates. So acknowledging this, I think that BRU is a wonderful place for me to do my PhD. Yes, I have always been yearning for knowledge. And I think if there's still another aspect of studying that is greater than PhD, I think after PhD, I will still want to study still at BRU, because I know that BRU have enriched educators that will meet the needs of us, the candidates, to ensure that we pass our PhD and we also do our PhD on time. Then the lecturers that teach at BRU at the level of PhD are not only Thai lecturers. So this diversity, you have lecturers from the United States like Professor Paul K. Matsuda. You also have other lecturers like Dr. Eric from Hasarakham University. You also have Dr. Michael Smith and many others that I may not mention their name. These are well-grounded professors as far as English language is concerned. So with the knowledge of these professors, I think that BRU is a very ideal place for me to do my PhD. And if you look at it, BRU have a group of dynamic administrators. Because if you look during the COVID-19 pandemic, most of the lessons that were taught they were done online. So this showed the degree of dynamism in the administrative setup of BRU lecturers and administration in particular. So BRU also holding the first international conference. I was opportune to meet some of these professors one-on-one. And then I think that was the very first time I met with my brother and my lecturer, Dr. Eric. And I was motivated when I saw him being invited at BRU as a keynote speaker. I spoke to myself that if Dr. Eric can do it, why not me? I think that I should be able to copy good example from Dr. Eric and be like him, or maybe I'll ask permission from him that I may even want to be better than him. So that is nice. The reason, another reason why I am very much motivated to do a PhD here at BRU. Thank you very much for your kind attention. Sawadee Krap, Mexico.
All right, thank you so much. And in this session, we have about 10 minutes left. So I'm going to ask all of the speakers one more round. for each of you can speak for about 2 minutes, and then you can share experiences about learning in the program, so that people who are making decision to join the PhD program, they may have some more ideas, and then they will just definitely join the program later. So for those of you who have listened to their experience, why they decided to join, do not hesitate to join us, because with their challenge, well, with all of the maybe obstacles or difficulties in life that they have, like they share with us, but still they decided to join. So why not you, right? So the next round is, which would be the last round. I would like to ask the first person, Yimon. Okay, so after you join, what is your impression or the strengths of the program? What is your impression and the strength of the program? And then you can also say a few words to invite the audience to join the program. So you have about 2 minutes.
So now I'm discussing about the question for the last question. So how about for the second round?
This one, I just asked the question. This is the second round, and I think it should be like the last round, because I combine the question that I gave to you earlier. So the second round and the third round together, because we are short of time. Okay, so the question is, what is your impression and the strengths of the program? And also you can say a few words to invite the audience to join the program.
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, it's a very interesting question and good question as well, because I mean that before I joined this program, I expected and I set my expectation, my learning expectation. So now after joining this program, I can commit myself, because I believe in myself and my ability as well, because of all my teachers, lecturer from a different university, and the coursework and the way how they teach and everything that I want. So here I'd like to say thank you for all our lecturers from the BRU University and the visiting professor and lecturer from different university, because here I like to highlight my impression and the strengths for their program. The first one is that my impression goes to my lecturer at BRU University, because I still remember when I was on my first session at BRU, at that time is the pandemic because of COVID-19. So we have to run on online teachings. So when I start for my first class in online, I was very excited at that time, because I have to study online with the foreign lecturers from different university, not in my university in Myanmar. But after the first session finished, all my fear and all my excitements disappeared as well. And also my enjoyment and my, how can I say, my joint is full with because of the teacher and the coursework. The first one is that all my lecturer teachers are very kind-hearted, and they are very patient, and they are very affected. And I mean that I'm really impressive at their teaching style. So I'm trying to imitate when I was teaching for my student as well, because all they are teaching professionalism. So because I believe that as a teacher, I want to promote the change the student lives so they are motivated and energetic in their classroom. That's why, because of the effective teaching pedagogies and the classroom management from our lecturer. So I'm really impressed about their my lecturer. This is the first my impression. And second impression is about the coursework. Really, before the program, I expect a lot to enrich my research competency and my teaching professionalism. And I see that I'm really full with my expectation when I start to learn about their coursework, because in our program, their coursework is really very effective for the ELT teacher and also the researcher as well. That's why this is my second impression when I joined this program. And the third point is that I like to hear the strengths of the program. Actually, I have a lot of friends from different foreign university, and then I'm always asking and looking for their experience and how they have learned, or how about their lecturer at the university as well. And then that the special the strength for this program is that we have to learn from the different professor from different university. I mean that we can learn and we can join the webinar and seminar as well. This is one of the main point that I love most in this program, and this is the most specialty and the strengths as well, because in other university and in other different foreign countries, they have to learn only their native lecturer, and they have less impressions and knowledge from the different culture or different lecturer from the different university. So in our program, this is the specialty for the students, and that this is also the best facility and as well, the facility and service as well. And another point is that as the teacher, we are busy with our teaching and our responsibility at the department or our university as well. And that this is the weekend program. We can study and we can pursue our PhD degree on Saturday and Sunday. So this is also the strength of this program, because as I think that most of my friends and some of my friends, they want to pursue their PhD degree, but they are very afraid because they are very busy at the university, and they feel worried they don't have enough time, or they don't want to leave their job or something. So in this program, we don't need to have no worry, because we can learn at our weekend comfortably, and it's very convenient for all the teachers, especially in English language teacher, because we can enjoy our time and we can enjoy our learning at weekend program. So these are the main strengths of this program and the impression as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Imon, because she is the student in the first batch. So I think she can give a lot of information to you. And now we are about to end the session, and I think we can have one more person to share about the challenges or the difficulties that he has during the class and how he can overcome or how he can manage. Okay, so he has about 1 minute. Ajahn Yuthajak, can you share with us, please?
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, for the challenges I have two types of challenges. Okay, the first one is the personal life. Okay, as a teacher, I have to work at my university and I have to study as well. So my only big challenge for this is that I have to manage the time well, to work well for both of the things. Okay, so I have to take time for my work, and I have to to do well in my study. I have to send the assignments need to meet the deadline, but with the high quality, okay, as high as I can. So this is the challenge for my time management. And next, the challenge for my study itself. Okay, I will say to myself that, okay, all of the assignment I do for my teachers, I have to do my best, okay? And I have to do today to be better than yesterday. So the assignment I have submitted to my teachers, it should not be only the answers for the coursework, but it should be developed in some way, okay, to be published in journals, okay, because I think this is what our teachers would like our students to do. not just give them back our answers, our suggestions, but we have to improve in all the courses and improve in many ways that we can improve. Okay, that's the challenge for me. And okay, to end my sharing, okay, I would like to give some final words. Okay, if you are looking for a program to support you to finish your PhD with high quality within the time frames, I think that program should have the characteristics of being able to push the students, okay, to achieve the goals. What I mean by characteristics, okay, one, the members of the committee, okay, the chairman of the program, okay, Dr. Akarapon and his members, they are very energetic to do things, okay, to do this and that almost all the time. You can see that they produce webinars, seminars, and now they are going to build the journal. This is one indicator that this program is seriously build our PhD students, okay, to do so. So this is the very strong point of this program. Okay, the second characteristic is the classmates. Okay, if you have classmates from different countries, okay, you can compare the way they study, the way they work, the way they live. Okay, but in comparison, you will feel that you have to work hard. Okay, we don't compete each other, but we compete ourselves. Okay, when you have friends like this, okay, each one another will push, okay, and help you to achieve all these assignments and all the work, right? So for this program, every batch now, as you can see that we have classmates from different countries. So this is very good. We help each other, even though we are away, because we are not doing it on site now. We are doing it online, but we can pass that. We can move that. Okay, we can go along with one another in a very good way. Okay, this is a very good point. And the last one is that the environment, okay, at BRU, okay, you are among the good environment. When you are here and you study on site, okay, there are the facilities to support you to study and also to comfort you when you fail, okay, like Dr. Eric said, sometimes, okay, you will fail, you will get discouraged, okay, you have to seek something or some activities to recover you. So Buriram is a good, city, like its name say, Buriram, the city of happiness. Okay, don't miss the chance, okay, to watch the sports, okay, to watch the racing activities. Okay, so these are good characteristics and good cities for you, good university. So you should be here, you should come here, and everything awaits for you to your goal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ajahn Yuthachak. Well, thank you all of the participants, all of the speakers in the roundtable discussion. I think you have all the information that you need. Well, make a decision now, join the program. Now my session is ended. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to return the control to the next MC, Ajahn Rajabhat. So over to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, Ajahn Sittisak, sorry.
Yes, all right. Thank you very much, our representative from the PhD ELT programs. Thank you very much for your insightful talks and sharing the experience about studying here in at BRU. And thank you, our beautiful moderator, okay, Ajahn Piyachat Tepasadina Ayutthaya Batch 2 student.